Addod Solutions. Add-on desired.
Hello viewers, welcome to Addod Solution Daily Current Affairs. I am Lokesh Penugunda. The first article is talking about the shifting of IGNCA. So we'll see about this IGNCA. IGNCA stands for Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts. National Center for Arts. From the name itself, you can understand that this is a center or an institution relating to the arts. So there is something called as the Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts. It was established as an autonomous body and it was established under the Ministry of Culture. So there is a body which is established under the Ministry of Culture called as the IGNCA. What is the objective or the aim? The aim of this institution is to preserve and showcase important art and culture related articles. So the first is to preserve and showcase important art and culture related articles to the people. The second is to promote research. It is to promote research on the art and culture along with humanities. So the second objective or the aim of establishing this autonomous institution is to promote research on art, culture and humanities. And now, as there is a renovation in its original office or the original building, the IGNCA has been shifted to a hotel called as Hotel Janpad. And you can see how this IGNCA looks like in this new hotel or the new area. Next we have an article where the Thailand government has launched the Phuket Sandbox plan. So it has launched something called as Phuket Sandbox plan. So what is this Phuket Sandbox plan? Phuket is an island. It is an island in the Thailand. So there is a country called as Thailand in the Southeast Asia and the country's economy is highly dependent on tourism. But what we have been witnessing is due to the COVID pandemic, numerous countries have started travel ban and as a result, the number of tourist arrivals in the Thailand has been drastically reduced, as a result of which Thailand's economy is under huge pressure. So to promote tourism in the Thailand government has launched this Phuket Sandbox plan, wherein if an international tourist is coming to Thailand, he would be sent to this Phuket island and he would not have to undergo mandatory quarantine for 14 days. So if someone wants to visit this Phuket island, he can directly go without any 14-day quarantine, so that he can wander in this entire island and he does not have to stay in the quarantine. This is an initiative so as to promote the number of tourist arrivals and to improve the economic conditions in the Thailand. So this is something related to the Thailand. Next we have an article which is talking about mass evacuation of people in a country called Philippines. So there is the Philippines, which is a East Asian country and its capital is Manila. 70 kilometers from Manila, there is a volcano called as the Taal volcano. The volcano's name is Taal volcano. What you need to understand is that Taal volcano is an active volcano. That means it can be active and it can release large amount of magma at some point of time. So it is an active volcano. And what the government officials has been witnessing is this volcano has been releasing a lot amount of gas and steam lately. So the government officials is of the view that this volcano might erupt in the near future. So they have asked the nearby residents of this Taal volcano to immediately evacuate. So this Taal volcano is in Philippines. Next we have an article which is talking about the Porta cabin schools. It is talking about Porta cabin schools. So what is this Porta? Porta is a word used to describe bamboo or wood. So whatever schools that are being constructed by the bamboo, you call it as the Porta cabin schools. Now we'll see the significance of construction of this Porta cabin schools. In the left-wing extremism areas, the literacy is very low. So to promote and to increase the literacy, you need to establish and you need to construct new schools. But most of these left-wing extremism areas are forested areas, so it is difficult to transport the relevant equipment to construct the school. So what the government authorities did was, starting from the year 2011, they have brought this Porta cabin schools concept, wherein the available bamboo and wood will be used to construct the schools in the left-wing extremism area, so that children even in this left-wing extremism area can go and attend schools, and they can even get free meals from the school. So it has two objectives. First is to improve the literacy of the area. Second is to increase the nutritional support given to these children. And now we'll also see what are the various advantages of constructing a school with a bamboo. First is it will be easy and cost effective. So as the schools are being constructed using bamboo, it is easy to construct and it is very less costly. Next is, as I've already told you, that these schools are being constructed in the left-wing extremism areas. Even if the Naxalites blow up a school, the government can construct a new school at the same place, because as we have already seen, it is easy to construct and it is very cost effective. So you can rebuild it at a low cost. And also, as this is not made of concrete, Naxalites who are staying in this area would not use these schools as a hideout. So there are all these advantages for constructing a school with bamboo. And these are mainly constructed in the left-wing extremism areas, in the Dantewada area, in the Bizapur district, and in other nearby districts which are influenced by the Naxalites. Next, we have an article where the Indian major pharmaceutical company called Zydus Cadila is seeking the government's approval to roll out world's first ever DNA COVID vaccine. So this is a significant development. Before understanding how a DNA COVID vaccine works, we'll first see how a normal vaccine works. To increase the immunity of a person, a vaccine would be given. This vaccine will generally have a weakened or dead antigen. So if you are getting injected through an antigen, your body will produce antibodies. So these are the elements which will protect you from these antigens. As a result, the immunity of this body will increase. So this is how a normal vaccination procedure happens. In a normal vaccination procedure, a person will be injected weakened or dead virus or a bacteria, so that this person's immunity strength can be developed by releasing of the antibodies. Whereas when it comes to this DNA, vaccine, what happens is, you are not injected with any dead or weakened virus. Rather, you will be injected with some kind of plasmids. Which will make the DNA of the person to bring antibodies. So in this, what you need to understand is that in the DNA vaccine case, you are not being injected any weakened or live virus or bacteria, but rather your body still would produce antibodies. This is the major difference between the general vaccines and the DNA related vaccine. And Zydus Cadila is asking the government's approval to roll out this DNA COVID vaccine. Next, we have an article where it is stated that only 22% of the schools in the country had internet in the last year. Why is this a problem? Last year, when COVID pandemic struck the country and the world, what we have been witnessing is students and teachers are moving from physical classrooms to e-education. For this, you would require internet, and for this you would require the computers apart from teachers and students. So if you don't have enough internet capabilities and if you don't have proper computers, you cannot help the students and you cannot teach the students. So this is why having just internet in 22% of the schools is a problem. This is published in a report by the UDISC Plus. So we'll see about this UDISC Plus. UDISC stands for Unified District Information. Unified District Information on school education. On school education. So this is the UDISC. You should note that this is a survey done by the Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education. This is not just a survey, but also it is a information management system, and it is covering almost 15 lakh schools in the country. So this UDISC Plus is a information management system of more than 15 lakh schools in the country, and after surveying all the schools, it will publish a report under this UDISC Plus, which comes under the Ministry of Education, and whatever details we can see in this article is published under this report. And according to this, government schools had less than 12% of the internet connectivity. So from this report, the government will be able to know what is happening on the ground so that it can take relevant action to promote education in the country. Next, we have an article where it is stated that 9 European nations have cleared the Serum Institute of India's vaccine. Yesterday, what we have witnessed is many European countries have not yet accepted India-made vaccine. So even if a person from India has taken both the doses of an Indian-made vaccine, he would still have to undergo mandatory quarantine if he visit these European countries. Government has stated that this is discriminatory and this is biased, because it is stating that Indian pharmaceutical companies have good quality and good experience in producing various kinds of vaccine. So it has asked the European Union countries, stating that it has asked the European countries to accept the Indian made vaccinations. And yesterday, after India has made this request, 9 European nations has finally gave its approval on the Serum Institute of India's vaccine. So if an Indian take the Serum Institute of India's made vaccine, and if he goes to any of these 9 countries, he would not have to undergo mandatory quarantine. But what you need to understand is that this decision has been taken by individual countries, but not the European Union as a whole. So we have a bloc called as the European Union, which has 27 countries, and its headquarters is in Brussels. Its headquarters is in Brussels, and to promote tourism and to allow international travels, it has brought out something called as Green Pass facility. It has brought out the Green Pass facility, wherein it has stated that if a person has taken vaccine from the given list under the Green Pass, he would be eligible to enter the country and he would be eligible to roam freely without undergoing any mandatory quarantine. But this European Union Green Pass did not specify the Indian made vaccine, namely the Covaxin and the Covishield. So if a person in India, even if he takes this Covaxin and Covishield, he is not covered under the Green Pass. So he would have to go through mandatory quarantine. This is why 9 nations accepting India's made vaccine is a significant achievement to India as of now. We'll have to wait and see to know what all other countries will accept this Indian made vaccine for travel. Next, we have an article where the RBI's report of financial stability has stated that the gross NPAs may rise to 11.2% in the financial year 2022. First, we'll see about the financial stability report. Financial stability report. This is a report released by RBI. It is released twice in a year. So it is releasing once in every 6 months. And under this report, it will survey the conditions of the Indian banking, and it will tell the government and the people how Indian banking is doing. And according to its latest financial stability report, it is stated that the gross NPAs might increase to 11.2%. So we'll see what is the term gross NPA mean. NPA stands for non-performing asset. Non-performing asset. When would an asset become this non-performing asset? Let's say there is a bank A. This bank has given some amount to a person as a loan, and if this person failed to pay back the loan within the next 90 days, that is, it may be interest or it may be principal within the next 90 days, then this amount will be considered as a non-performing asset. So if bank A is giving person 1 a loan of 1000 rupees, and if Mr. Person 1 did not pay this 1000 rupees or did not pay interest of this amount within the next 90 days, then this 1000 rupees will be called as a non-performing asset. So the non-performing assets are those loans that the bank feel that it would not be able to get in return. So this is what a non-performing asset mean. Whereas gross non-performing asset mean all the loans in the country which have turned into NPAs. So this is with respect to the gross NPAs. Next we have an article which is talking about the youngest grandmaster in chess ever. So we have the world's youngest grandmaster, Mr. Abhimanyu Mishra, whom you can see in this photo, and he has become the youngest grandmaster at an age of nearly 12 years and 5 months. By achieving this huge task, he has become an important player, and he has went on to become the youngest player to become the grandmaster. You should note that Mr. Abhimanyu Mishra is a US citizen, but he is of Indian origin. And with this, we have come to the end of this session. Inform about Addod's initiative to your other aspirant friends. Thank you for watching.
Addod Solutions. Add-on Desires.